Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
I'm Ru, hello, hello, hello.
And folks, we are here on Slitzfest to give you some more of the Terrible Divisions tournament. Who's that cute little mounted guys I see over here on the left?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have vonPaulus playing the 4th Romanian Mountain Infantry Division, with a Maverick income, and on the right-hand side we have Znat playing as Naval Group Division Russian, I cannot say the name, Bakatina, with a Vanguard income.
You know, I didn't really appreciate the fact that Bactina comes in with all ducks. It's really, really silly that I somehow haven't paid attention to it, but it's fantastic. It's really, really great to see that these ducks get to, waddle about occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch the meantime as kind of the standard opening between PTRSs, smoke troops, flames, all that kind of stuff like that. Very standard opening on both sides, actually, I would pretty much argue.
Yeah, both sides, getting in those quick flamethrower troops up in the open, and focusing a lot of anti-tank guns from vonPaulus. He has a bunch of these, they're not anti-tank, they're support guns, 47 mils, but they also act as anti-tank.
If you squint real hard and don't
Mm-hmm.
really think too much about them, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. They're very small, cheap guns, but they're not bad for the price.
No, they definitely aren't. So I was just kind of taking a quick look here. So you actually have this off map coming on in with a spotter plane. Excuse me, just a spotter plane, really. Making a gun run at this Maxim. When you only have about 600 rounds of ammunition, it's very interesting that you're gonna spend it on that.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow he takes out the MiG in less than that pass. Wow.
It's very
Wow.
rare to see a 129 not get shot down immediately, but hey, I guess when you're not lugging around a 75mm anti-tank gun in your nose, you have a little bit more maneuverability.
It's even more kind of distressing to watch actually down below on the southern side. This Pack 38, and this Breda 47 mil, taking out 2 or 3 ducks over here. So they're playing. They're
Mm-hmm.
certainly having their own version of duck hunt going on down to the south. And while it is 12-12, I don't see Bactina frauding their sea legs over here on the southern front.
Yeah, it's just that goddamn support gun and machine gun line is very strong here from vonPaulus. I mean, those 47 mils, yes, they do not do a lot of high explosive damage, but they shoot 20 rounds a minute, which is not bad.
Indeed. I was watching this. We're actually seeing a very early gun run going after a support truck, which
Hmm.
not very common, but actually I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, knocking out supplies is always a good way to go. As he crits
But
praise, he could spot it. But oh no, it's a recon plane, that's right.
yeah, recon play still there, and deflection shot going after the lag. And he's okay for now, but yeah, I was gonna say you better get out of that.
Yeah. I think he has the speed.
He
Maybe, yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He does. I think we're still bringing in more lags and another MiG cheese.
There's quite a bit of heavy air power, like, early on.
Heavy's a bit of a stretch of a term, but I admire your gumption, sir. Well, one lag is
Oh,
down, and if I'm the MiG, I'm bouncing.
yeah.
Again, he's got 220 mils. What, 100 rounds for him?
He only has 50 left. Gotta make him count. And 129 is.
No, he's gonna have maneuverability on the 129.
Mm,
And the fourth plane's back in here. Jeez.
Jesus
So
Christ.
the mountain apparently doesn't really care too much about actually the ground. They're much more concerned about being the knights of the air here.
Mm-hmm.
And all while that's happened, actually to the north, the Romanians have been rather successful in aggressing into that northern town. But there's 3 squads of the Cherny Bashlatis, and those guys are nothing to be sneezed at.
Yeah, they are goddamn scary troops. When you have 9 semi-automatic rifles, there's a lot to fear for the enemy.
The funny thing for me is that I'm kind of interested to see how this recon, I don't want to say recon play, because it's not really fair to say, but how this really plays out. We have 4 essentially light fighter craft that can probably be called in for some really, really great strafing runs. Like for me, I'd be hitting the Northern Infantry right now.
Yeah.
I know it's heavily defended. There's 3 squads there. Like you said, these guys are no joke. You got to do something.
Yeah, and you might as well try and make the most of it now before the enemy finally gets some anti-air support. Znat is focusing more on getting more infantry, and then vonPaulus actually investing a little bit in just some flak 20 mils.
highly agreeable idea. Why is that Junker? The Junker didn't make any kind of gun run. That was really weird. I guess he finally lost sight the last second. Not
I
too
think
sure.
so.
Because we look to the north. Sorry, go for it, sir.
Oh, it's maybe he's trying to find a different target.
Oh no. More lag. That's one.
Nianka did knock out
That's
this
two.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Holy crap. It was IRA. It was IARs.
Well, the Heinkel got one of them.
Nasty.
And there's another one's coming in too. Dude, you would think he would learn. These are recon planes.
Now it really needs to be invested more in anti-air rather than... Oh, he actually shoots one down now, so good for him.
Yeah. At what cost, though?
Cost,
Dude, this
yeah.
is like, what was it, Bloody Tuesday, I think it was, during the Battle of Britain? I might be wrong on that.
Oh no, I think every day was kind of bloody, depending on which side he was on.
Well, there was some huge loss. They're going to lose another Henkel here, but a big stinking deal.
I only know about Bloody April.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
No,
Bloody
yeah,
April.
that's World War One, now. That's
Okay.
1917 in World War One.
Well, the idea, though, remaining that we have just all this aircraft, and they're throwing each other they're throwing themselves at each other just rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this Henkel might go down, and in fact, we're paying zero attention to the ground fight, but it's just been so vicious.
Yeah, the airplay has been... I mean, we're not even, like, 7 minutes into this match. And by God, it's just been brutal in the skies. And both sides investing heavily in A-phase planes, which you usually don't see all too often. I usually think people like to get more B and C. Oh, yeah.
The JRS. Yeah. I can't think of the last time I actually saw this guy. And he's using like a slow fighter.
So you actually trying to dogfight?
He is.
Not.
He is.
No. I think
He
he's
is.
trying to pick another target. Oh no! What are you doing, buddy? Meant to drop your load and get out of here.
Exactly. And now he's just gonna die for no reason, unfortunately. Unless, wait, does the lag? Oh, did the lag run out of ammunition? No.
Holy crap! Is that a mortar in a wannabe run? You're not
It's a
allowed
120
to have.
mil.
You're not allowed to have on-map artillery. It's off-map or nothing. Like, haven't you been reading the meta?
Oh wait, so we have this Hotchkiss and we have the 20 mil. So what do you think? JRS dies or no? It's gonna be close.
20 mil is not attack moving now, so he's not. Okay, now he's shooting. But too late.
Yeah, so there's no way the lag was making it out, but at least he got a kill out of that.
Yeah.
Now refocusing our attention back towards the Earth here for half a moment. We are seeing, I guess, a bit of a tentative push over here into the trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got just all these Romanian troops with Molotovs and flamethrowers just been slowly pushing through the forest because I guess screw pushing through the town. You got the cover of the trees, and they're gonna find this nice S2 gun to say hello to. With rifle fire. I don't think this S2 really appreciated the exchange.
The Moskai Pakotas, they're going to stop this very quickly. Again, 13 rifles. I don't care if they're Mannlicher 95s. But the DP Pakotas, they're more than enough.
I don't know, I think the Romanian troops in the trees just give them the benefit of cover.
All I mean, though, is at least this will slow this down enough to at least put a stop to this kind of initial push.
Yeah, and with 120 mil finding a pretty juicy target.
In the rear.
Round off.
In the rear, though, he's looking for the anti-air.
Ah. I guess that also makes sense.
Vaguely, yeah, but I'm not sure I agree with it myself. There's no, actually no. There's
no,
okay.
Yeah, he's splitting targets. Multitasking.
I legitimately thought the Moskai Pakotas were going to last a little bit longer than, all of 2 seconds.
When you're out in the open, it's pretty deadly. I wonder if we're going to be able to find this second ZIS-2 gun in the forest. That'll be another pretty big kill.
This is not really appropriate, really, more than anything. But can we look down to the south for half a moment? We have 3 sniper squads covering this crossroads. Like, I don't care who's coming through. This is like a true. I don't have the right.
Like a standard
there's no
match
movie
in Call of
reference.
Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
no scopes or some nonsense going on down there.
And these are all the Romanian mountain squad, so it's two sniper rifles per squad, which is goddamn deadly. I mean, as we all remember from the Finnish DLC, those two-man sniper teams just do a lot of work, and especially now when you have them with 5 HP, pretty nasty.
Oh, we don't really get to talk about these guys very often with the LT VM Pionieri. These guys who have SMGs, sniper rifles, a rifle, and they have had anti-tank weaponry as well.
Yeah, you know, something for every occasion.
I know. It's like, dude, okay, you're going to party. Just, like, pick out a dress and let's go.
The town is being pushed finally a little bit with just some of these Molotov troops on vonPaulus, picking off the initial PTRS defense. But we do have a lot of these rather scary Russian troops all holding and a pretty good position for that Maxim, so yeah, it's going to be able to halt that advance for now.
It certainly seems to for the moment. I'd like to see... I really wish that JRS napalm had been a little bit more skillfully utilized.
But the Junkers have been absolutely on point. Just saw one knock out 120 mil, and with pretty much the air power completely under vonPaulus's control, he's pretty much more than, able to just bomb the crap out of everything that moves.
True. Unfortunately for him, though, he doesn't have enough hard AT capability to really deal with these T-34-76s, at least not initially.
Or he does have some Panzer IVs being brought in.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, so,
Yeah, the 47 mils and even the Pike 50 mils kind of In terms of the tank matchup, it honestly goes a little bit more towards vonPaulus's favor, because he does, it's really just Panzer IVs and T-34-76s. There's nothing really heavy in that.
No, there definitely isn't. I'm actually just watching this pop gun to the north engage him with its 9 shells remaining, and I don't know that I even survive getting shot at like once or twice here. But you can see already, he's fired 5 or 6 shells at it, and it's what, 30% freaked out? Barely anything.
Yeah, they're
feeling...
not very good against anything, more armored than a T-26.
Well, it's also worth mentioning the scout plane just comes in and just straight to 37 mil.
Yeah. I like how Znat, gets his little bit of anti-aircraft in the field and gets strafed. He does have quite a lot of it now, and they do have all 1-star, 2-star veterancy. So this is perfect. It's exactly what he needs to retard vonPaulus's air power.
But retard, I think, is all he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, he's probably lost a lot of his fighters, unless he has some more in his arsenal. I know both of his into pretty good air power tabs. God damn, the Unker, Ivan quite a bit of 37 mil fire, and also a little bit from there too. Jesus Christ!
He's gonna lose with 1 Junkers. This one that has the escape curve is not. Wait, what the? Oh, he's moving for some reason.
He's just going up. Oh, the 37 mil.
No, I was actually confused that the Ju-87 was just able to pull away so easily.
I think he just gained altitude, and now he's gonna be losing a bunch of altitude very quickly.
Well, an ME-109 doesn't do very well either. Just didn't buy. One of the few Pak-38s going down. P4 is in the area, trying to engage these T-34s. It's going to be a bit of a lopsided match, though.
There's a lot of Panzer IVs, so this is quite an uncommon sight, as usually Panzer IVs are rubbish, but when Panzer IVs are your only proper tank, you're gonna have to use them. But in this matchup, not terrible, because the enemy only has T-34-76s.
Yes, and north, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 to the north. The southern side, despite the fact that all the brave sniper teams are getting mortared into oblivion, getting forced to move back, the Romanians continue to hold the south, and they're holding strong.
Well, now, I think once the Vanatories go down, the flag is going to flip back over to Znat's side. I mean, he does have a fantastic defense line of all the guns, but he needs some more frontline infantry to really defend the front end of the
Oh,
second side.
absolutely. Very much going in the favor of the Romanians, I would argue as well.
It's been pretty, like, I don't want to say neck on neck, but it's been pretty even so far in terms of, I mean, it's only 1 point leads for vonPaulus throughout this. I mean, Znat can still push back. He has a pretty scary infantry tab, but I think it's really going to come down to him really securing the air power. I mean, he does have IL-2s on the field now, and if he can gain air superiority, there's a bunch of AA, and then uses IL-2s to just bomb the everlasting crap out of everything, that can really turn the tables.
Well, one thing that's not going to turn the tables is the P4s are starting to really assert some dominance here in the center, taking out the T-34s opposite them. Think about this now. We have PTRSs. Technically, we have the ZIS-2s, but the second the ZIS-2 pokes its head out, it gets blown to smithereens.
Yep. And really, those ZIS-2s are one of his most effective ways for dealing with the Panzer IVs in a long-range head-on fight. And yeah,
exactly.
I mean, when they get spotted, they will just get kaboomed by probably a Junkers. And we got mortars being brought in.
I was going to say, yep.
So
120 mils.
Both sides actually use on-map artillery, an absolute rarity.
And yep, we have a walking barrage going for the ZIS-2 and the 37 mil. Good call.
Very good call indeed.
But I really feel like the ZIS almost maybe. Oh no, I guess he's pushing back just in case. Okay, I can see that. But to the north, northern town is isolated. Southern Crossage, you're absolutely right. The Venatoria's gone down, and now we have two squads of Cherny Bishaltis holding hands as they're going across this field here.
I never noticed how single file to hide their numbers.
Well, I never really realized how the squad leader actually has an hourglass figure. I'm sure the ladies love him.
Just ambush and the snipers at close range. You can't really do too much when there's a bunch of rifle fire 100 meters away.
You know what's going to happen? Yep, Junkers coming in. I think it's 2. No, okay, we have the Henkel to guide in, and we have the Junkers just to blow the smithereens, so that'll be fun. I feel like the major axis of advance, though, I think there's going to be holding down to the south, and then we'll just blow everything to smithereens from the north, it feels like.
I do like how down south Znat did separate his infantry, seeing the Junkers coming in, so only one of them gets blown up. Very good play.
So those tiny little micro things we never really get to pay too much attention to. It's just a nice little bit of paying attention to things. Yeah. Well, let's see. We actually have a commander squad on the Romanian side. Do we see a commander over here? I see any commandant, commissar? I don't see.
I don't think so.
Caiaphas Kane anywhere near here. Strafniki to the north getting pushed out of the trees. It really is bizarre to me to think about how strong the Romanian infantry is. I never fully appreciate it until I see it in action against things like Strafniki. Yes, Strafniki are not as strong as they used to be, but still, they're Strafniki.
Yeah, they're pretty beefy squad, but yeah, what helps the Romanian mounted infantry a lot is just those goddamn 15-man rifle teams with Molotovs. I mean, it's just a beefy squad, and they got Molotovs, which will run the CQC weapons in game. So, yeah, that helps out quite a bit.
Something less positive is when Strafniki charges your front line. And now, if you though, that could be a brilliant thing.
You're getting the flank here, chucking the Molotov. Sharing the drinks all around. Didn't do too much damage though, but mainly the suppression.
And really, when it comes right down to it, it was better for them to let the other squad, even if they still have a Molotov here, it was better for the other squad to get out. More troops, more fun. So,
yeah.
Definitely check the advance. Give more time for these Kalaris, these the P4s to come up. Heck, even this Vickers, the captured Vickers, the 75 mil.
Oh yeah.
Be brutal by itself.
Oh no, that's not. Technically, it's not captured. They actually got licensing to build.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, I can hear Rooster right now twitching over in his chair. So a couple more to 120 mils brought in by the Soviets, but not to be outdone. There's actually 2 more squads. Yeah, 2 more being brought in by vonPaulus. Mobile Vaganin as well. Love those guys. Most ugliest, but still appallingly effective anti-air platform.
Yeah. I mean, just stick big medium-sized anti-aircraft gun on a flatbed tank. pretty simple idea, but it works.
Indeed.
Oh.
Indeed.
I have a feeling, like with vonPaulus, he has all these tanks and all this fantastic fire support in the north, like, to try to take his town. But he really needs much more infantry, because his tanks are just sitting around doing nothing, and this is really allowing Znat time to buy up and build a better defense. He's got quite a lot of mortars in the field now, he's got a lot of 37 mils, and down south he's even bringing in some off-map artillery.
I think the thing they're not paying attention to, though, is the fact that we are a Maverick income. What we just saw just now should have been the high tide of the 4th mountain. It's not going to be at this point. Here. But from here on out, he loses out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be a worse matchup, because against Vanguard, it's only a 20-point difference. So it's still pretty playable still, but not the best situation to be in. He's really going to have to... I mean, I think if he loses a lot of his Panzer IVs up north, that'd really be the time for Znat to do a counterattack. But I don't really see it happening. There's not a whole lot of anti-tank up north. I think the main push from Znat's going to come down south after this off-map strikes.
Well, I think it's IL-2 might get out, but now we have 3 more Panthers being brought on in too. So, yeah,
yep.
It's going to come in, but to what end?
Yeah, the tanks are pretty much just going to stop any push, yeah, because there's one T-34-76 down south, but in terms of the numbers game, the Panzer IV wins at engagement.
The IL-2 will finally die? The IL-2 can get shot down?
What? I think I might be a bug con.
It might be.
I'll tell Eugene, yeah.
Quick, get the balance patch.
Mm-hmm.
I really do like the counter battery fire that's gone on, though. vonPaulus, say what you want to about some of the decisions he makes tactically. I do appreciate the fact that he is, I would say, definitely up there with the best of them in terms of being active and dropping to take out that artillery.
Yeah, and so that's going to be trying to return the favor, it seems.
Yes.
Oh.
True. But the second that the other mortar is going to open up, then it's going to be its turn to receive, that love and touch and squeeze.
At this point, it's
attention.
like playing a game of Battleship.
Oh, yeah.
Mortars.
Trying to see from supply level, it ain't going to be pretty.
Got more, like, holy crap, this is the most Panzer IVs I've probably seen in a month.
And the most alive at the same time.
Yes. Yes. But both sides really do have, like, a pretty decent built-up force. Probably a little bit more in vonPaulus's favor, but neither side really doing any, major pushes. I kind of understand why on this map. It's a pretty scary map to push on, as there's a lot of open ground. But vonPaulus, with, the tank advantage, needs to be a little bit more aggressive with it. And that's exactly what he's starting to do a little bit now, up north, moving up some of the Panzer IVs, trying to get an angle on the T-34.
I think, though, at the same time, you kind of get that certain feeling that after a while, you're tired, your P4s get slapped around, doesn't matter what you do, how you do it, you're just going to get smacked, so you get really, really nervous.
Yeah.
Well, actually, oh man, we actually almost had JU-87 call down on the off-map, but now, dude, pick one. Dang it. That could have been oddly brilliant.
Oh, he had decision paralysis, yeah. And now he might have bullet-itis.
And I believe he just died, didn't he? I turned away at the last second. Yep, there we go.
Now he can bomb his own troops. There we go. Almost hit one of them.
There really has been a crazy amount of air power being used here.
Yeah, I'm really quite surprised. It's starting not to look good for vonPaulus now, the heavy anti-aircraft net being brought in.
You mean with the whole idea of the 37 mils? Yeah, I mean, that's a hassle, sure, but he's got the artillery. The artillery advantage really, truly is in his favor. The armor advantage is in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing for him is making sure he just doesn't take stupid losses as he comes forward.
And this northern push is actually starting to happen, and it's looking pretty good. The Panzer IVs are flanking along the far northern sector here. The main problem is really just waiting for the infantry to, move up and clear the point. I mean, we've got this forest in the far northern side, and he doesn't really want to push any further, I understand, until you really clear out forest.
True, but at least we're answering the age-old question: how many P4s does it take to get to the center of a T-34? Well, it seems the answer to that is 2, generally at a time. And I think Znat over here is actually starting to run a little bit low on material. Yes, we're getting Strokies in, but he's calling in just 3 squads of machine guns.
Yeah.
That signals something very, very negative for him.
I have a feeling it's also running low on anti-tank now. I mean, lost a lot of Zis-2s early on in A phase, and now all he really has is some Zis-3s, which are respectable against Panther 4s, don't get me wrong, but with that many Panther 4s on the field, it's just he needs more anti-tank. He needs more tanks, but with naval group, you only got like a single card of T-34s. It's not a whole lot.
True. Well, now we have a half-track company moving on in as well, half-track platoon. More than a little bit amusing here. Ooh, it's just 3s rather. Take out an early P4.
Nice. In a pretty good position.
I think the 47 mill's going to die pretty quickly, but he's causing a lot of hassle for him.
Yeah, it's at least getting him spotted. This would be... He needs artillery at this tree park. Or dropping a few bombs, direction.
Let's see, is he modifying that barrage? He sees it. It's got...
Probably should not have 2 Zis trees right next to each other.
Yeah, that's a very questionable decision.
Maybe I like...
But I think to a certain extent, though, he's nervous about the armor crossing that field, and he should be. I mean, we have a huge amount of ordnance in the area.
Yeah, and there's no real, like, good areas, like, where he is right now to really put him in defense. He does have that forest a little bit to the north, but with, the farm, it really blocks a lot of your line of sight.
Actually, what I would have liked is, the housing complexes, stick one on the southern side, and one on the northern side looking further south. I kind of would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah.
Yes, you give up a little bit of your field of fire, but I think it's still not a bad idea. And here's all the Maxims are now pinned down. He's starting to really take some losses here.
Yeah, vonPaulus just has a massive armor advantage. By armor, I mean off-tracks and Panzer IVs. But it's all he needs. I mean, there's no real heavy anti-tank here anymore. It's just a lot of soft targets.
Yes. And while there's going to be definitely some losses taken, all they're doing right now is unmasking all the truly terrifying material, and then everything else is getting taken out bit by bit. And I think to a certain degree, Znat is worried about that, which is why he's trying to push in the south a little bit more. Off-map artillery, which just is coming down right now. I don't know if there's third or the second barrage that has gone on here. The second one, as I am now informed, as the third one gets called in. But his own material is starting to look really, really shaky there.
Yeah, he really does not have a lot of those awesome naval troops left, it seems. I know by sea phase, we're really relying more on the standard regular Russian infantry troops. Which sucks because, as we all know, the Morskaya is ridiculously good for the price. And you really need to make the most out of him early on.
Yeah, it is an intriguing thing to see that Znat was theoretically playing for Phase A, but I don't think we really saw a ton of aggression for it.
No, not really. He pretty much held like the 50-yard line for the most part. And lost a lot of his important Zis-2s and lost the air power early on. I feel like both sides have really invested more in controlling the skies rather than controlling the ground. That's where you didn't see much actual ground movement.
Wow. You're right. Honestly, again, how many... just a quick count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 P4s. 8 P4s and a couple half-tracks and a partridge and a pear tree just all over the freaking place to the north. And there's really these 2 Zis guns and these 2 T-34-76s. Those guys die. These are the last gasp, I would say, for defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not looking good. You want to take us to like ×2? I feel
sure.
like this is gonna. I think it's pretty obvious who's gonna win.
Totally. So let's do it at 30 minutes, okay?
Cool.
And go. So, folks, I guess as this continues to kind of wind down, like we said, this has definitely been a rather interesting thing. If I could just take a quick moment, I really want to appreciate everyone who has already kind of supported me on my venture for picking up my new novel just dropped last week on Friday, First Do No Harm. Historical fiction, definitely a bit of a crazy story on how I got there in the first place. But I really want to appreciate everyone who has checked it out already. And I mean, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. One of the best communities out there with this game, and everything you guys do is just, I really appreciate it.
Buy his book, it's good.
I paid Rang to say that.
25 cents.
Exactly. It's fine. He drove a hard bargain. Excuse me. So we're 59 right now, 31-35 going into this. T-34s are starting to die. A couple last bits being called in these, but the heavy artillery is continuous, it is accurate, and it is deadly.
Yeah. 120 mils are nice and cheap. They're not the best at long range, but when you have 120 millimeters of high explosive, you don't have to be all too accurate.
Exactly. Actually, silly question. I always 40 points. That never sounds right to me. Or the heavy mortars.
Oh yeah, 90.
90 for wow. I have no idea where I got the 40 from, dude. It is late when we're recording this right now. But we can see it right now that these sniper teams, even the sniper teams, are getting some action by just taking out those gunners one by one. And yeah.
And there we go. KD's pretty what I expect.
But how much that was air power?
That's a good question. Looking at kills, that one MiG shot down 3 airplanes is pretty good.
Very, very true. But the burritos, okay, usually we deride the burritos as being completely worthless. A couple ones to the top, where we have 7 or 8 kills of squads between them. That's solid.
Yeah, like I said, they're good because they just shoot so fast.
Yes.
Yes.
You're bound to hit something eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But the Romanians, not flashy, not many guys are just like standing out around. Really solid, kind of consistent play.
Yeah, it's just a very good a very solid infantry division overall.
Very, very true. But all right. Any final thoughts, sir?
Nope.
Folks, in that case, then, thanks so much as always for joining us, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Until then, I'm Kai Molork.
I'm Rangru, take it easy.